If you're looking for the best sequencers, here's a list you must see. We made this list based on our personal preference and sorted it based on their features, prices, quality, durability, and reputation of the manufacturers and customer feedback. Also, we've included options for every type of customer. So let's get started. At the first position of our list, we have Korg CV Sequencer and Sync Box. First up is a surprisingly simple, but hands-on, 8-step sequencer for hooking to your synthesizer. It gives users 2 notes per step and allows them to adjust the pitch or voltage of each note via a dial. It has a well-thought-out configuration. The pads are made from good quality rubber and present a tactile feel. They're the same set from the well-loved Volca model. The light indicators help keep you visually informed mid-process. This sequencer can be switched into other modes, active step, slide, and jump step, allowing for an expanded 16-note control. The Korg CV Sequencer is fitted with both a gate and MIDI in and out function. You can only use them as an either/or functionality, which may be impractical for some. Additionally, the Korg comes with USB, MIDI, and CV in and out connections. It has versatile compatibility and requires no setup, as this is a plug-and-play device. The Korg CV Sequencer is best for beginners as it drives just about any synth. The basic functionality keeps it straightforward. Moving on to the next at number 2 with Arturia KeyStep Controller Sequencer. This sequencer is a step sequence controller from Arturia. It's competitively priced and, comparatively to the first, features a traditional MIDI keyboard. The Arturia KeyStep has 32 slimmed-down keys, which gives users polyphonic step sequencing control. They have pitch bend and modulation ribbon wheels, and plenty of options for tweaking your sound. Most notably is the built-in arpeggiator, which is incredible. This model features transport keys and can be used to control your DAW directly in totality. It has CVI/L connections, as well as a USB MIDI, and is very well constructed. The Arturia KeyStep has some great settings to play with. We prefer its piano key layout. The slimmer size allows for a few more keys to play with, but they are far from fiddly, unlike the mini key option, which sometimes presents a drawback. The number 3 position is held by Novation Circuit Groove Box. The Novation Circuit Groove Box is another impressive option which combines a 2-part synthesizer and a 4-part drum machine with a 4x8-step sequencer. The innovative arrangement enables users to drop 16 spontaneously. It is excellent for quickly fixing an idea. You can separate it into 2 separate sequences of 8, with the top set showing you previous sequences. Users can perform up to 128 steps sequentially with the sample flip, which enables 16 different samples per sequence over 8 separate patterns. The trigger pad quality is great, and the velocity sensitivity allows you to build drum patterns with a natural-sounding expressive quality to them. You can load up to 64 additional samples. The 2 mono and polyphonic synths let you lay down everything, from bass lines to chords to melody sections, using the pads or leads. Each patch can be sculpted via the macro knobs. There are 8 which can be tweaked to manipulate the pitch, tone, distortion, and the equalization blend, as well as the decay. One of our favorite features is that it doesn't even need to be synced to your DAW, as the controller is battery-powered. It's also full of drum samples and has adequate built-in speakers, meaning you can pick it up when an idea strikes. The Novation Circuit is an intricate yet simple piece of kit to master. It provides a lot of playroom and covers all your sequencing needs. Next at number 4, we have Arturia BeatStep Pro Controller and Sequencer. Arturia's BeatStep Pro is a 3-track version of their original BeatStep. At its heart are 2 monophonic sequencers, each with up to 64 steps, with note, gate time, and velocity. There are also 16 assignable encoders for note or MIDI CCS. There are variable, probability, and random functions, and also a roller slider for stutter and rhythm changes. Additionally, there's a 16-track drum sequencer, 1 track per pad. The 3 sequencers plus the encoder assignments are saved as a project that can then be saved and recalled immediately. You record sequences in real time with the velocity-sensitive pads or with the step buttons. Other performance effects include a touch strip-controlled looper, a randomizer, and swing settings. Projects can include up to 16 sequences, and 16 projects can be stored internally. BeatStep Pro also provides MIDI in and out via 1/4-inch connectors and USB. In addition, There are 2 sets of analog outputs for pitch and velocity CV and gate, 1 for each melodic sequencer, and individual gate outputs for pads 1A when the drum sequencer is active. The Pro can sync to external MIDI or analog clocks. The number 5 position is held by Novation Launchpad Pro MK-3. The first thing you notice about Launchpad Pro is its striking interface, with each column of large velocity and pressure-sensitive pads on the 8x8 grid lights up with a different color. The new MK-3 is the latest version of the Pro series. The Novation Launchpad Pro 64 is also available at a reduced price. Optimized for Ableton Live, Launchpad Pro can be quickly configured as a custom controller for any MIDI-compatible software or hardware. 8 custom layouts can be saved and immediately recalled. MIDI in and 2 MIDI out ports are provided, as well as USB 2.0. It features a 4-track, 32-step standalone sequencer. Each track can have up to 8 note MIDI polyphony. Sequences can be chained and assigned to scenes to build complete songs. Users can modify patterns on the fly with features such as probability, mutate, sync rate, and play order. All this functionality comes in a very compact package that takes up very little desktop space. Just 10.5 x 10.5 x 7.1 inches, 268 x 268 x 18. All Novation products come with a generous 3-year warranty. Launchpad Pro ships with a complete production bundle. This includes Ableton Live Lite and a selection of plugins from Softube, Oz, Evgran, and XLN, plus a free 2-month subscription to Splice Sounds, as well as a membership to Novation Sound Collective plugin sharing program. The number 6 position is dominated by M Audio controller with step sequencer. M Audio's Trigger Finger Pro is a full-featured pad controller that's sold as an all-in-one beat-making tool with its own Mashine style software. But it also provides a standalone mode with a 64-step monophonic MIDI sequencer. 16 pressure and velocity-sensitive pads trigger internal drum hits or samples or external MIDI gear. Other controls include 16 step switches, 4 assignable faders, and a set of transport controls for a digital audio workstation. Mackie Control and HUI protocols are also supported. Trigger Finger Pro ships with M Audio Arsenal software, an intelligent production hub, and advanced content library, which includes more than 5,000 production-ready samples. Also included are AIR drums, a virtual drum module loaded with a world-class library of drum and percussion samples, and the AIR Hybrid 3 high-definition synthesizer. Additionally, you get Toolroom Records artist launch packs with over 2,500 instrumental loops, drum kits, and one-shots, plus an expansive drum and percussion library by Prime, loops with 2,000 kick, snare, claps, and percussion sounds. Moving on to the next at number 7 with Pioneer Toraiz Squid DJ Controller. The Toraiz Squid is the first standalone sequencer from Pioneer, better known for its DJ gear. Built with the same robust quality as their mixers and media players, it boasts a host of attractive performance features and an intuitive, non-destructive workflow. The top panel is dominated by a 4x4 grid of velocity and pressure-sensitive pads. 6 harmonizer buttons let you create chords from single notes. The 16-track sequencer can record and play polyphonic melodic sequences and chord progressions. Each track can create up to 64 patterns. A total of 128 16-track projects can be saved internally. Phrases can be built quickly using the step parameter knobs, which work independently for each parameter. You can play along with pre-recorded sequences using the performance pads. Alternately, tracks can contain MIDI CC data to control external equipment. Up to 5 MIDI CCs can be assigned to each track. Hardware connections include not only USB-B, MIDI in, and a pair of MIDI outs, but 2 CV/gate outputs clock in and out, as well as 2 DI and sync ports, so it's easy to control any vintage analog synths. Other notable features include running direction, groove bend, which adjusts trigger timing to create unusual rhythmic variations, and speed modulation, which alters the playback speed. The number 8 position is held by Teenage Engineering OPZ Sequencer. Teenage Engineering does things differently. The OPZ combines a sequencer with 8 onboard synths and a sampler, though it can also serve as a 3D graphics and lighting controller. It has one mini audio jack for line-out or headphones, and a USB-C for playing external MIDI gear, charging, and file transfers. All this comes in a very compact package. Just 2.26 x 8.36 x 39 inches, 57x212x10 box. The OPZ sequencer has 8 audio tracks assigned to different components, such as kick, snare, percussion, or bass. Additionally, there are 8 control tracks for effects, the tape recorder, lighting, etc. Each track can be independently set from 1 to 144 steps long, so they loop at different rates. Even more, each track can play at its own tempo. Individual tracks can jump cut back and forth irregularly and randomly, so a short sequence can sound different every time it's repeated. Also, playback can be 100% quantized, not quantized at all, or anything in between. You can automatically transpose entire sequences through a range of 6 octaves into different scales. On the front is a pressure-sensitive thumb button for pitch bending, and an internal microphone is activated automatically by an accelerometer when you lift the unit to your mouth. OPZ currently comes with 12 internal synthesis engines, including bowed strings, clustered oscillators, piano, bass, and a PCM sample player. More options are expected with future firmware upgrades. Also included are 16 sample packs, providing kicks, snares, miscellaneous percussion, and effects. It connects wirelessly to your mobile device, which acts as the graphic interface, including multi-touch. You can even snap a series of photos to sync to a sequence, creating an instant music video. Next at number 9, we have Elektron Octatrack MKI. The Octatrack MKI is the successor to Elektron's successful Octatrack DPS-1. Workflow has been enhanced with backlit buttons, high-resolution encoders, additional function buttons, and a smooth crossfader. The MKI also adds balanced audio inputs for more headroom and an improved 128x64 OLED display. The sequencer provides 8 audio tracks plus 8 MIDI tracks. Each track has its own length and time signature, so it's easy to create complex, evolving textures. Each MIDI track can include up to 4 notes with adjustable velocity and length, plus pitch bend, aftertouch, and up to 10 assignable CCs. MIDI tracks function nearly the same as the audio tracks, including parameter locks, LFO modulation, and micro timing. Parametric EQ, hill EQ, flanger, chorus, comb filter, and compressor can also be applied to tracks. And 6 LFO are available, 3 each for audio and MIDI tracks. To further modify sounds, there's also a MIDI arpeggiator. Octatrack provides stereo main and Q audio outputs and a headphone out with a S/N ratio of 104 dB and an output level of up to plus 17 dB. MIDI and /out/through and a USB 2.0 port are also provided, but no analog CV/gate outputs. Finally, the number 10 position is dominated by AKAI Professional MPC-X. The Professional MPC-X is AKAI's top-of-the-line sampler/sequencers, and one of the most complete and full-featured sequencers available with a price tag to match. Evolving from earlier AKAI products, the MPC-X includes a 10.1-inch 1270x800 multi-touch screen and 3 USB 3.0 ports. It interfaces well with a computer but works well as a standalone unit. MPC-X has 16 premium velocity and pressure-sensitive pads that are RGB backlit. Knobs include a 360-degree encoder for value/data adjustments, 16 360-degree touch-sensitive Q-Link controllers for parameter adjustments, and 7 traditional knobs for gain and mix levels. A sequence can contain up to 128 MIDI tracks and 8 audio tracks. The step sequencer, used to create MIDI tracks, utilizes the pads as step buttons to simulate the feel of a traditional step sequencer. The touch screen provides a graphic interface that makes it easy to adjust the velocity of each MIDI note. Each track can be set to a different track length up to 999 bars. While all tracks play back at the same tempo, you can opt to set a sequencer tempo that's different from the master. There's also a song mode that lets you arrange different sections to build a complete song. Tracks are connected to programs that route them to outputs. A CV program converts MIDI track data to control voltages. 8 CV/gate outputs make it possible to control several classic synths or other analog gear. MPC-X provides a comprehensive set of analog inputs and output connections. Inputs 1, 2 are mic or line level with combination 1/4-inch/X LR jacks. Inputs 3, 4 have both 1/4-inch and RCA connectors and can accept a turntable or line signal. Analog outputs include a main stereo pair, 6 auxiliary outputs, and 2 headphone outs. Dynamic range is 114 dB. The MIDI interface is similarly expansive, with 2 MIDI and 4 out ports. 2 USB 3.0 ports are also provided. That's all for today. We upload music product review videos every single day, so don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon for the upcoming video notification.